Good morning, everyone. Today we are finishing Merging with Śiva, Chapter 6, entitled Wisdom's Path, drawn from the 1970 Master Course, and the last two lessons are a bit short, so it's going to be a short talk this morning. Lesson 41, Superconscious Signposts. When your awareness is in superconsciousness, you see yourself as pure life force flowing through people, through trees, through everything. I have seen myself in a certain state of samādhi as pure life force flowing through a jungle, through trees, through plants, through water, through air. That is superconsciousness. It is so permanent, it is so real, nothing could touch it. Nothing could hurt it. In this state, we see the external world as a dream, and things begin to look transparent to us. People begin to look transparent. This is superconsciousness. When we look at a physical object and we begin to see it scintillating in light, as it begins to become transparent, this is superconsciousness. It is a very beautiful and natural state to be in. Occasionally in deep meditation, we see the head filled with an intense light, and we know that that is the natural state of man. This is superconsciousness. When we can look at another person and know what he is thinking and how he is feeling, and know what he is thinking and how he is feeling and how his subconscious is programmed. While we are looking at him, all of a sudden, he can be seen in a past life or in the future, or in the eternity of the moment. You are so naturally, without striving, in the superconscious area of the mind. No technique can give you these experiences that you unfold into as you walk the path toward merger. You come right into them, and the experience is how you are. Occasionally, when you close your eyes in meditation, you may see the face of your guru, or some divine being that possibly once lived on earth, and now just the shell of his subtle body remains vibrating in the ethers. You see superconscious beings while in the superconscious area of the mind. Occasionally, you clairaudiently hear voices singing, music playing, just as Beethoven heard his wonderful symphonies that he recorded like a scribe. It is the superconscious mind again, so near, so real, so vibrant. And when you are in contemplation, so engrossed in the energies within you, within the physical body and the energy within that, and that within that, that you become totally engrossed in the peace of the central source of all energy, that too is superconsciousness. Being on the brink of self-realization, having lost consciousness of the physical body and of being a mind, you are only conscious of a vast bluish-white light. You get into this through going into the clear white light and out through the other side of it. Then you come into pure consciousness. It is a vast blue, pale bluish white light, endless inner space. It is just on the brink of the absolute, just on the brink of the fullness of self-realization. When you are in this beautiful, blissful state of pure consciousness, you are barely conscious that you are there, because to have a consciousness of being conscious, You have to be conscious of another thing. These are some of the wonderful signposts on the path, all within your immediate grasp in this life. Just as the ability to play the veena or the flute beautifully in this life is within your immediate grasp. It takes practice, following the rules, and then more practice. So Gurudev is talking about different aspects of the superconscious mind. So we're going to look at some of those in the Shum language. So the basic idea is when you go into the inner light, up in the head, if you look out, you can see other beings. So that's called the sixth dimension. Sixth dimension, Ingma Limni, the rarefied area of mind of color, sound, and vibration, as well as subtle forms and beings composed of these elements. Temple deities are sixth-dimensional beings. Great beings who no longer need a physical body also reside in this dimension. This dimension relates to the Kamshumalinga Chem Mavumna. To experience the monograms within this dimension, look out from between the eyes. Of course, into the light, not into the physical world. So that's sixth dimension. Ingma Limni. Then we get the seventh dimension, which is staying within and going up, which is basically what we try and do in Shum. We're not trying to count all the beings in the inner worlds we can see. Trying to go straight up. So that's seventh dimension. Iliming Shum. Clear, endless inner space. Not clear white light, just clear space. Above the vibratory rate of light, and with no thing to be aware of, awareness becomes conscious of itself. Awareness can expand into the endless inner space of this dimension, or contract into being completely aware of itself, kaif. So that's something you may not have thought about. Normally we think about kaif, which is awareness contracting, but it can also expand into endless inner space, and they're both in the seventh dimension. This dimension relates to the Kamshumalinga Kamakadi Isore. To experience the collages within this dimension, look at the inner world through the top of the head. And then the inner light, Isim Nadanadi, bright, sharp, piercing, actinic light in the Sarasvara. So those are some of the main points Gurudeva made in the Merging With Śiva lesson, stated in the Shum language. Some of the wording is almost the same, so you can see totally consistent between Merging With Śiva and the Shum language. Lesson 42, Maturity of Being. Now we begin to see the vastness and yet the simplicity of the superconscious mind as awareness flows through it. Nothing is there for awareness to attach itself to. When aware of something other than itself, awareness is in its natural state in sub-superconsciousness. Read that again. So in superconscious mind, there's nothing for awareness to attach itself to. When aware of something other than itself, then it's in sub-superconsciousness. It's come down. Occasionally in superconsciousness, we can feel and actually inwardly see the inner body, the body of the soul, and we can feel this body inside the physical body. This is the body of light. Then we know through feeling and seeing that this body has existed and will exist forever and ever. And we enjoy moving within the energies of this inner body. As we feel them, we become so quiet, so centered, that awareness is aware of itself, so intently that we are right on the brink of the Absolute, ready to dissolve, to merge into that which is man's heritage on earth, to realize the maturity of his being, the Self-God. This is bringing up an important point. Gurudeva says, then we know through feeling and seeing, not thinking. Oh, one of the challenges in modern life is we're taught to think about everything. We understand something by thinking about it. Well, that's necessary for certain types of knowledge, but this is knowledge not through thinking, knowledge through feeling and seeing. We grow up physically, we grow up emotionally, we acquire a lot of knowledge. We must acquire the best knowledge, the cream of all knowledge. This is the knowledge of the path to enlightenment. And then, as awareness soars within, we begin to experience the realms of superconsciousness, man's natural state. Then we have our ultimate experience, awareness dissolving into itself beyond superconsciousness itself. After self-realization, you are looking at the film, the movie of the actors and actresses, including yourself, previously seen as real, being more superconsciously conscious of the light projected on the back of the film than of the pictures displayed, which were seen as real before this awakening. So we have a Shum word that relates. Cha mi nif. Seeing the mind or consciousness as one substance, some of it as being dense, some of it as being refined, and some of it more solid. This is sometimes experienced after a prolonged Im Kaif. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.